Alright, this is oral communication 5 and we are at tip number 6, give your audience some beef. Part 1 is called Where is the Beef? And Matt will explain to us what that means.
Okay, so let's start with a TV commercial that was very popular a long time ago. So if you don't know Wendy's, it's a hamburger chain similar to McDonald's. It's a fast food restaurant. So there you can see the Wendy's sign with the picture of little Wendy. It has the pigtails, and then you have the Wendy's burger, which, as you can see, has lots of beef. Now I'd like you to watch the commercial and see if you can understand what they're trying to say. So in the video, the women keep saying, "Where's the beef?" So what is the connection between the commercial and the content of a presentation? Well, basically, all the advertising and packaging for a product is meaningless if the content is disappointing, such as the big bun. That might be the title to your presentation or whatever. So it's the same with your presentation. You could have a great PowerPoint that looks amazing, but do you have any content? For me, the content is the beef. Okay, so when talking about the content of a presentation or a book, a report, we often say it didn't have any substance or there was no meat to it if the content wasn't interesting. Repeat after me. Where's the beef? I didn't hear you. There you go. So, whenever you hear me make a statement and not back with support, I want you to yell out, "Where's the beef?" If you're doing it at the Ellis Wing, I expect to hear you. Example 1, a presentation about coffee. I could say, "Coffee is a very popular beverage." And you should say, "Where's the beef?" Hopefully you did. Millions of people drink coffee every day. You should say, "Where's the beef?" Well, according to T.R. Reid, every day Starbucks opens 4 new coffee shops somewhere on the planet. According to the International Coffee Organization, in 2009 to 2010, $15.4 billion of coffee was sold. Here's the beef! And then, of course, you want to make sure you have good sources. They're very important. Later in the semester, we'll explain how to deal with these big numbers that may not really move your audience very much, like the $15.4 billion. What does that really mean?
Thank you, Matt. So I'll go on with our second example. And Matt, can you do the where's the beef? Because you do it really well.
I'll do my best.
Alright, so Matt loves coffee, so that's why he got the job for explaining about coffee, and I would like to talk about yoga. And my first statement is yoga is a popular activity.
Say no. Where's the beef?
Thank you, Matt. I really can't do that. My second statement, a little better, could be according to Yoga Journal, 15.8 million people practiced yoga in the US in 2008. I got better sources. It's Yoga Journal.
Where's the beef?
But really, I do believe that this is just about the US, so people might ask you, well, what about other countries?
Are there other countries besides the US?
I know, right? There are, Matt. And also, as you can see here, the data we got is for 2008. Well, 2008 starts to be a little bit old, right? So trying to find maybe something a bit more recent. For me, the beef is here. When I say that, first we look at Google, and I explained that Google is the #1 web search engine, and the data comes from a website that analyzes all the other web search engines, and it says that it's 65.2% of users in the world use Google. So the conclusion is Google knows what people are interested in. And they have a great tool that I'll explain in more details. And according to Google Trends, that's the tool, according to Google Trends, it shows that between January 2005 and January 2015, interest in yoga has increased by 35%. Here are the sources. Please remember that sources are very important. The Google Trends I was mentioning earlier, basically you type a keyword, in this case it's yoga, and you get for about 10 years a trend in interest, meaning that in 2005 yoga, the interest level compared to the latest data, which was at the time 2015, yoga was at 64 out of 100, and that was January 2005. And then in January 2015, the interest for yoga was 99, which means there's an increase of 35%. And we like Google Trends,
yeah,
right?
We do.
Because it helps you see things that you might not realize. And Matt loves that one, so that's why we have it in the video, because I'm going to show you something happens every January. Interest in yoga peaks, meaning it becomes higher. Let's have a look. If you look at the graph, all the little circles represent January of 2006, 2007, 2008, all the way up to 2014. And every single January, the interest for yoga peaks. This is something Matt pointed out to me, actually. I didn't really pay attention, but he's like, don't you think it's because of New Year's resolutions? And I definitely think he's right? Like in January, everybody decides, ooh, I want to be healthy. So they start looking about what they could do. And usually people think yoga is a great way to get in shape, but then they forget about it. So you can see the interest goes down and then kind of goes back up to January.
It's kind of like in Japan, the mikabozu. That means they try something for 3 days and then give up.
Aha, here we go. So what's our point, Matt?
Do we have a point?
Yes, we do. Well, we think that the main points of your presentation shouldn't be too general.
You want your audience to think, really? Not, so what?
Exactly. You don't want your audience to go like the little old ladies in the commercial.
Where's the beef?
Exactly. So at this level in your career at doing presentation at the university, we really want you to go in depth. General statements are the beginning. You should look for more.
You've got to back up those statements. Anytime you make a general claim, you better be able to prove it.
This was the introduction to the concept of beef. And what are we going to do in the next video, Matt?
I don't know, Sophie. What are we doing?
We're going to show you how to find the beef. So please watch the next video. Thank you.